What's going on, Vintage Gamers? Welcome to another Monday Night Vintage Prelim. This was a close one. We fired with 13 players out of the 12 needed. I have been working on random Legacy to Vintage ports recently because the All Will Be One Phyrexia cards are not out on Magic Online until tomorrow. Tomorrow they will come on Magic Online, so I suspect the Wednesday night stream will be some kind of Phyrexia brew with either Tyvar or a Synthesis Pod or the oily spell card or Atraxa. So one of those four cards will likely be a stream on Wednesday. But today we're gonna play a prelim. And we're going to play Omni-Tell, Legacy Omni-Tell, ported into Vintage. Talk with Nathan a little bit about what that would entail. My idea was utilizing the fast mana to allow us to play things like 4 Cunning Wish and have a nice little wish package for our Omni-Tell list. Also, Moxen do make Impulse better so that we can play almost entirely at instant speed while setting up the combo. And then on the combo turn, obviously we'll have, access to Flusterstorm and that kind of thing to do the comboing. We are kind of a weird deck where we're a Mystic Sanctuary plus fast mana Rock Shell, which is a little weird, but this is tested okay so far. We have a full Cunning Wish board with many instants in our sideboard. The 3, combo-oriented ones are Shared Summons to get Emrakul, Grizzlebrand, Sublime Epiphany, and Firemind's Insight to play around different, Force of Vigor, Beseiju type effects. And then I've added a bunch of wish targets so that we can kind of, end of turn wish for something that we need, or wish for a Mindbreak Trap against combo, or wish for a Snuff Out against mono white, or those kind of things. Wish for a Gush to get some card draw. So it should be pretty fun. The main combo in this deck is obviously Show and Telling and Omniscience, and then Cunning Wishing for a Shared Summons to cast Emrakul and Grizzlebrand off your Omniscience. So should be fun. It might go really poorly. This deck is not exactly super strong in Legacy right now, and Vintage may be even worse. So we'll see what happens. I do think that the Moxen add some power to this deck, like this turn 1 hand here. And if my opponent is on shops like they are typically on, and they don't have a sphere to be put in play, we could end up in a really good spot. I actually think we may elect to not put the Omniscience in play just because we expect our opponent to be on workshops. Maybe we just put the Emrakul in play. That's what I'm thinking about right now. If you were in the blind, I think you would always put this Omniscience in play. But if my opponent is suspecting to be on workshops, then I think it might be necessary to... I might even not be that bad. Like, if they put a sphere in play and we have an island mana crypt, is it really going to be bad for us if we just wait till next turn to cast our Emrakul? It might not even be that bad. We might still be supposed to put Omniscience in, and that's what I'm going to think about while we wait for SO63 to appear. I know that he was doing some chores before this event, so should be around soon. Yeah, there are like some bad things that could happen, Nathan. Like I don't know, Null Rod or Phyrexian Revoker. But I think in general we might be able to pull it off. So I think I'm going to go with Omniscience and then just hit the nice turn 1 win, see if it happens. It's a nice way to lead off the stream for sure. All right. Show and Tell. Omniscience, what do you choose? Okay. I have been bamboozled. My opponent has a Trinisphere. The good news is if we don't get strip mined or we don't get revoked, then we still have an Emrakul coming. So Trinisphere is definitely like the best thing they can put in play. All right, I'm gonna take an extra turn and then annihilate their board, and then play everything else. So, okay, we got a game 1 win. Mana Crypt confirmed good with show and tell. So the bad news here, or maybe the good news, depending on how you look at it, is I don't have a sideboard because I basically made an entirely a wish board. That being said, we probably will still board into our deck at least these negations. And then we have to consider if we want Hercules. So like these Flusterstorms are so bad. We want probably Hercules or Echoing Truth. We probably want Hercules in the main. We do have Vampiric and Demonic and Merchant Scroll and Mystical. So it's the same number of tutors as wishes. So I think the three Flusterstorms come out for the negations and the Hercules. The Mental Misstep, I think they're a cage deck if I'm not mistaken. Let me just take a quick peek at the last blue shops list. They have one cage. Torpor Orb, Witchbane Orb. Oh, they did put a Null Rod into the deck. I think that's a good change. That was the one thing I really, really disliked about their deck last time I played it. I'd like to find something to maybe board this Mental Misstep out for. We could technically take like a Snuff Out or a Dismember. Gush is not typically good here. I think I would rather just have the Mental Misstep. So this makes the Cunning Wishes in like the value Cunning Wishes like not as strong. Maybe we want to just put the Needle in the main and keep the Echoing Truth in the board. Let's do that. Let's keep the Needle. We have a lot of basic islands, but we still don't really want to get wastelanded. What did I do with the did I just get rid of it? Oh, okay. All right. So my opponent is on 4 Phyrexian Metamorphs, which is something we have to keep in mind if we go for like show and tell creature. Which is another reason why we maybe didn't want to put in, you know, show and tell Emrakul instead of show and tell Omniscience, because my opponent is playing a Phyrexian Metamorph deck. If it was a more normal version of Workshops that doesn't play Phyrexian Metamorph, then I think maybe it makes, you know, a little more sense, but definitely something to keep in mind. So here we have 3 lands, Brainstorm, a show and tell with a Grizzlebrand. No counter spells. No fast mana. It's kind of interesting. I think I'm going to keep it. Obviously, it has some power issues, but I think it plays through a lot of their prison elements well with triple... I was going to say with triple island, but we'll see what happens here. My opponent did play a Mana Crypt and a Trinisphere. Obviously, we would have wanted to have a force for this Trinisphere. Uh-oh. So can we win the game if they take show and tell from our deck? I feel like it will be quite hard, but we're gonna try, I think. They have a Mana Crypt in play and a Trinisphere, so we have Hardcast Omniscience, yeah. I think I'm supposed to fetch... Can this name anything? I think I want to make sure I fetch a basic island. I don't think you can wish for an exiled card. That's not how wishes work in 2023. All right, so the show and tell is gone. That's bad for the home team. I thought Karn is like specifically different than wishes, but I can't remember. That was kind of loud. All right, well, I'm not really ready to concede this game, to be honest. So I think we're going to play it out. My opponent has 2 Ancient Tombs and a Mana Crypt, though they've won both of their Mana Crypt flips so far. They have a threat? It's not a threat. Okay. Why is my thing giving me priority again? Did I accidentally turn something off? I don't know what's doing. I was interested in casting I was gonna cast Impulse. Why don't I have why do I immediately have priority again? I don't know why it's doing that. I'm supposed to just take all my lands, right? Like I guess Ancestral is fine. Control? You think my control button is stuck? That might be reasonable. I wish my opponent would lose a Mana Crypt flipper or 7. Okay, that's a great draw. That's exactly what we're looking for here. Perfect draw. Oh, they've won all. Okay, they've won 3 crypt flips, but they're pretty locked under their own stuff too. Oh, they drew a saga. What I don't have is Dress Down, but I do have Hercules, which is in my main now. I also have Echoing Truth, I guess, which is pretty good against saga tokens. I don't know if I want to exactly expose my Underground Seas, but probably worth it. Okay, so now I can Time Walk. How close are we? I mean, Omniscience unfortunately costs 11 now, right? Or 12 now. What about a Grizzlebrand? Grizzlebrand is going to cost 9. And we're currently at... So if I were to cast 4 mana Demonic and 4 mana Time Walk... I think we're getting close. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I can cast Time Walk and then put Time Walk back on top of my library. Then I can't cast... Then I can cast Brainstorm. And then the next turn I can cast Time Walk and Demonic. Okay, so I'm going to try... I think I did the math right here, but I could be wrong. I'm going to cast Time Walk, and then I am going to Mystical my Time Walk back on top of my library. I can't cast anything else. Oh, I guess I technically could cast this Brainstorm, but it's not that good. I guess it's fine. So now I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Plus Mana Crypt is 10. So I can Time Walk for 4 mana. Mana Crypt costs 3 mana, and I lose 1 mana. So 3 mana is going to be... But I can just cast the Grizzlebrand, right? So if I play Mana Crypt and Time Walk, I don't need a Demonic for like Lotus or anything. Oh, I do need black mana. So I do need a demonic for Lotus. Huh. So do I have enough? No. So if I do Mana Crypt here, that gives me 3 mana, 5 mana, 7 mana, which is not enough to demonic in the same turn. So I miscounted because I forgot about... Okay, so let's just do... Well, let's just do demonic. I mean, I could... What if I just demonic for, like, Hercules and go for a Hercules at the end of their turn? Is that just better? I demonic for a Hercules. Well, then I don't have the mana to play. Well, I could get pretty close to playing Omniscience, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. What if I just do that? I'm not convinced playing Grizzlebrand is correct. What if they play Phyrexian Metamorph? Show and Tell has been exiled by the Stone Brain. I think the answer is actually just Hercules, which means I probably should have Mysticaled or something. Yeah, I should have Mystical Time Walked. Well, I guess this saves my Time Walk, right? Which is better. Yeah, this is better. This is better. This is better. So I'll just demonic for Hercules, and on their end step, I'll Hercules them, and I'll untap, and I'll play Omniscience Grizzlebrand Time Walk. That's just that's a million times better. I guess it's bad if they draw another sphere, but I shouldn't have tapped my island. I should have tapped both of my well, I had to tap my underground sea. I should have tapped both of my underground seas. I guess I would still get wastelanded. So I could have tapped better. Oh no, this costs 5. No, this costs 4. This costs 4. No, we're fine. We're fine. We're fine. Okay. Well, I can't cast Omni first. I have to get rid of their stuff. Yeah. We're hard casting Omniscience. And then we're winning the game. We can actually Mystical for a Cunning Wish for a Gush, Gush back our Mystic Sanctuary our Time Walk to the top of our library. So I think we're winning the game if everything goes okay. What does this mean? Why are they doing that? It's a Null Rod, maybe? Oh, a Metamorph. Okay, that makes sense. I guess if I get sphered on this Metamorph, it's kind of bad for me. I guess I can still untap and Hercules, and it's not a huge deal. Well, if I bounce everything right now, they get to replay everything. I think it's fine. No, they did go for a sphere. That was a good play by them. So I can't cast this now because it costs 5. So if I were to pass on their turn, I think I'll just cast Dig. I'm going to have to wait and then go for... So I can grab double force on their turn after I Hercules them. That's pretty good too, right? Just wait till after everything and then Hercules them and then just force some things that matter. That's probably fine. I don't think I need a Black Lotus, even though I could play a Grizzlebrand. I think that's I don't think that's necessary. Just get a negation and a Force of Will. I should probably be ordering my things, but I guess I'm gonna discard the hand side. Wait. Why didn't I get a Force of Will and then just Time Walk and Hercules? Can I do that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and Time Walk? Oh, I could have done that. I'm so bad. Okay, there's no reason for me to get forces. I should have just gotten Black Lotus. Well, I don't need Black Lotus, do I? I'm bad, I think. What I actually needed was that dig through time so that I could cast spells off my Omniscience. I guess I have a Grizzlebrand, so maybe it's fine. Intuition's probably good enough as well. So if I cast Hercules Recall right now, and then I cast Time Walk, and then I untap and yeah, that's fine. Hercules Recall. I can Time Walk in Mystical or something. One, two, three, four, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah, okay. I can just get a Cunning Wish. And we're fine. And we win this game. All right. Mana Crypt. Omniscience. Cunning Wish. Fire. I guess it doesn't really matter, right? Because I'm taking an extra turn. Shared Summons. Emrakul. Grizzlebrand. Kill them. Who needs show and tell? Just hard cast your Omniscience. I'm so happy we streamed today. That's oh man, that is beautiful. Okay, now we're on to round 2. We're up against Nathan. Nathan knows all about this list because I asked them a bunch of questions. They're probably playing PO, so it could be quite a challenging matchup. We'll see what happens. One thing you don't want to do is show and tell into their Bolas Citadel. Yeah, well, show and tell's not restricted, Jad, so. All right, this is a great hand, though. We've got On-Color Moxen, we've got Ancestral. I mean, we're missing, obviously, an Omniscience, but once we get an Omniscience, we're in a pretty beautiful spot. All right, 1 Mox. 2 artifacts. Got a spin or maybe something else. Holding up in blue. Okay. A Force is a really strong draw here, considering my opponent is on PO. What I am going to do is Ancestral on their upkeep, most likely. That way we can play around Flusterstorm. Our show and tells can basically never play around Flusterstorm, but Nathan did say that they're also playing a Mana Traders match because they didn't expect round 1 to end so quickly. We had a 24-minute round 1. So we might have to be do a little fill in the gaps here. But yeah, I think my plan here is going to be Mox. They're going to spin, and we'll go to their upkeep. We want to play on their turn. Once they spin, I'll fetch, just in case they play like Opposition Agent, Dark Ritual, or something crazy. Because they're on PO, I'm just going to fetch the Underground Sea instead of the island. Vintage games are either very fast or very long. For instance, the last match we played, we just won the game on turn 8. But the game 1 of that, we won the game on turn 1. So, yeah. You'd be surprised how long Vintage match can go to. Why not Ancestral now? Oh, I thought we were going to overdraw. Yeah, you're probably right. We can Ancestral now. They don't play Force of Negation. If they played Force of Negation, then there would be a reason not to Ancestral now. I was too busy explaining other things, but you're right. There is no reason not to play Ancestral now. Unless, of course, they're not on PO. If they're not on PO, the reason to play it now would be because Force of Negation. They pitched their Flusterstorm, so we got a Flusterstorm out of their hand. I'm actually not going to counter back because I think holding my force is more important than resolving Ancestral. It's unfortunate I don't get to resolve my Ponder, but well, now they get to know my hand. So if they have a second Fluster, things get a little annoying, but all we want to do is find something to show and tell. I don't think we're in a bad spot by any means, though they do have a top, which is kind of annoying. Draw with top. Play Soul Ring. Play PO for 2, maybe? All right, well, let's see what we draw for turn. Oh, they're going to cast something. Maybe? Demonic. I wonder if they're going to get... I think this is fine. Just shuffled away their top. Obviously, we have a force. I mean, if they get Citadel, I don't think that's a big deal. They can't cast their Citadel very easily. I mean, I'm not going to show and tell right away unless I find something, right? So... one problem with casting... I don't think show and tell Emrakul... Is show and tell Emrakul what we want to do? It might be good enough. So what I'll do is I'll just take the island, and then maybe we'll go for show and tell Emrakul next turn. I don't think I'm going to cast Impulse, because I know I just want to keep the show and tell. And then if the first show and tell gets, like, Flusterstormed, then it's fine. We just go for the next show and tell. And I think playing the island is appropriate because we don't want to get our force flustered. This is Tinker. Was it Tinker with force backup? I mean, Tinker with force backup is quite good. Not much I could do about that. Okay, that just didn't work. Okay, an island and one card. All right, I think I'm just going to go for the Emrakul. Maybe I'll just go... Well, if I Impulse and find an Omniscience, then I still have to top deck for turn a draw. So... I'm just going to go for show and tell. If they have the Citadel, they have the Citadel. I think it's fine. Shieldred played in Vintage? Yeah, Shieldred's quite good in Vintage. Oh, they had Flusterstorm. Okay. All right, so they had Flusterstorm, but because we hit a land off our Ponder, we were able to pay for Flusterstorm. So they have 0 cards in hand, and Tinker is gone, which leaves us in a good spot. Obviously, like, Yawgmoth's Will is a really good draw for them. But we're not in a bad place. Okay, sure. They could have Hardcast Force here. This is my 3rd show and tell, which they know about the first 2. This one's a new one. They could have Hardcast Force here, which is definitely one of the dead draws they could have drawn for turn. I still don't know. Okay, I have an Emrakul. What do you have? Hopefully not a Citadel. Just a Lotus. Okay. All right. So they have one turn to top deck something, or else they're gonna lose their whole board. Got there. Okay, so we're playing probably against PO, at least against Blue-Black Tinker. What I'm gonna do is board in negations and probably trap and probably Flusterstorm. Um, how am I gonna do that? I have no idea. Maybe we trim intuition, mystical. Oh, I don't know. How will we do this? Maybe we trim can we trim cunning wishes? Maybe we just trim some impulse. I don't know. Well, cunning wish. Maybe we just trim one of the fours. Yeah, Tabernacle. We're still a Demonic Tutor Vampiric deck, so having a Tabernacle is really good. No, I would really like to have Probe. I think we just trim Mystical and some of our 4-ofs. I don't know if we have enough lands where we can consider trimming a land. No, I still like Vamp because Vamp can find Omniscience, which I think is important. If I felt strongly about keeping an impulse or wish, I feel like we could board an island. No, this is a brew. As much as you could say it's not a vintage deck and it's barely a legacy deck. Yeah, you know what? I'm gonna take out an island and I'm going to keep the other cunning wish. Firemind's Insight is for if your opponent likely has a Force of Vigor or a like Beseiju or something, you can win at instant. Well, not at instant. I don't know. It's supposed to be some kind of redundancy against things that remove your omniscience or something. I don't know exactly. I asked Nathan. He kind of gave me an answer, but it's something that I can wish for that does something in certain situations. I'm sure they will never come up. Yeah, I mean, I'm going to keep this hand. Obviously, we are looking for a force in this hand, but the Mystical Sanctuary looks quite bad. What can I say? Force, 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 force. Sometimes, chat, it pays to be just enlisted. I'm just going to get an Omniscience with this Demonic Tutor. And then we're going to see if hope our opponent doesn't have Flusterstorm open. And then we're going to try to show and tell and hope maybe draw a blue card so we can keep Wish. Yeah, so I asked Nathan about it, and he said that lists don't really play Release the Ants anymore. I don't know. It's kind of weird, man. I kept it in, though. Oh, another show and tell is a great draw. Because if they Flusterstorm this, it doesn't matter. We have drawn really well today, I must say. All right, so they're going to force. I am not going to force back because I'd like to keep the Cunning Wish so I can win. So I'm gonna try to wait and just go again. Hull Breacher. I don't think that matters. Blue card is our best draw. Nice. All right, I think this game is won then. I guess they could Flusterstorm off of this Delta. Maybe this deck is broken. We drew so well. I needed to draw like Force blue card, and I drew Show and Tell Force blue card. So like I vamp tutored every single turn of that game. Okay. Okay, here we go. Round 3 of our vintage prelim. We've had 20-minute round, 24-minute round. We're playing against Chess Knight, who I believe is playing the Stacks deck from my Monday video. So we might have another matchup here against Shops, and we have a turn 2 show and tell. Interesting. This is very interesting because I don't think we're at liberty to get an underground C, so we won't be able to vamp. I think it's still, and even if we show and tell, we don't have something to play off it. I actually think this is a mulligan. It's kind of crazy, but I'm pretty sure this is a mulligan. We would have to hope they didn't draw anything that affects us. They also have 4 null rods in their main. I think this is a mulligan. I'm going to mulligan this hand. I think it's a disciplined mulligan. This hand is much better. Doesn't have fast mana, but it's still better. You have to respect Shops. You got to give them the respect. All right, let's see what they have for us here. Okay, workshop. And null rod. So I'm going to let null rod resolve. I don't think we need to counter null rod currently. All right, we'll fetch in response to this. Okay. So they'll probably choose some kind of fetch land. Hopefully they don't choose Delta, though Delta's probably the most likely choice. Yeah. I think they're going to choose Delta, to be honest with you, because they have access to my list. My list is on Twitter and in the Discord, so they get to just look at my list and pick the right card. I have 2 Strand, 2 Tarn, 2 Delta, 2 Misty, so they could choose Misty or Tarn or Delta, and my cards are blue-black, so brains typically just default to that. So I assume they're just going to choose Delta here, and we're going to get absolutely wrecked. Yeah, I mean, it's not, there's no correct play here besides naming Delta, Tarn, or Misty. But I think they're just most likely to name Delta, so. So that's actually, oh, they named Misty. God, we're lucky. Okay, all right. I think I was actually supposed to lead on Delta for this exact reason, but got a little lucky here. My opponent did not hit their 1 and 3. So now we need to decide. I did draw Misty though, so am I still lucky slasher? I don't have. I can demonic for. I can demonic for my omniscience, but I don't have a land anyways. I think I'm just supposed to demonic for ancestral. Yeah. I'm going to demonic for ancestral. This plays around the most stuff. I don't like end of turn impulse because I currently want to pitch impulse to force of will if they sphere me. I think it's really bad if I get sphered in this game. One thing that my deck is pretty good at is playing around Tangle Wire though. My deck has a lot of instant speed. Yeah, so I'm gonna let Tangle Wire resolve because I'm just gonna upkeep impulse or ancestral. Tangle Wire is not a problem here. Larian Academy is a hell of a card though. I'm also going to let Patchwork Automaton resolve. At this point, that's fine. I'm going to go. I'm still going to cast Ancestral over Impulse here, just because I think the card I really want to find... Yeah, that's good. I do think I'm going to deploy this Soul Ring, even if it doesn't do anything right now. It's going to help me with my Tangle Wire. And also, I can technically get Hurkyl's Recall out of my Wish board. My opponent correctly faded the right way. I now have a Show and Tell, and I have a different thing to pitch to force. Strip Mine's a really good draw. I'm going to counter this one because I think the clock is really bad for me. So I hope they don't have any follow-ups after this. They've done a lot of things, so I'm hoping they're out of action. I'm still Tangle Wire for 3, so this turn we are going to Impulse. Need to find Island. I mean, we do need to find a card to use with my Omniscience, but I think the Island is much more important. So, I am going to put in the Misty Rainforest this turn and tap the Soul Ring and the Misty, and then we'll go Island, Show and Tell. So we currently have the win if they have no lock pieces here. If they don't top deck a Sphere or a Wasteland or something, then we have Show and Tell, Omniscience, Cunning Wish, Shared Summons. Saga is not a lock piece. They did have something in their hand. What is it? Is it another Tangle Wire? It's another Tangle Wire. That is not good for the home team. And a Sphere. Wow. They just didn't play that last turn? Oh, I guess we're going to lose. Shops is just too good. Not much we can do about this. Tangle Wire's too good. Shop's too good. Never listen to Slasher. Slasher doesn't know what he's talking about. He's kind of washed up in Vintage at this point. Can only play budget formats like Modern. Hurkyl's Recall is not in our main, unfortunately. I can wish for Hurkyl's Recall, but I think it will be too late, unfortunately. Not much to do here. Unfortunately, what's going to be 4 tap down. So I can wish, but I'm going to die to Patchwork plus... I wonder if I could have taken a Nettlecyst. I mean, they had Sphere second Tangle Wire. There was nothing I could have done. Oh, I can't wish because of the Sphere as well. Yeah, that is a true statement as well. Yeah. Unfortunately, too strong of a draw for my opponent here. Not much to be done. It's fine. What do I just do? No. This is what happens. You put a video on Twitter, or not on Twitter. You put a video on YouTube, and everybody plays the deck, and the deck is too strong. What can we do? All right. So we were not able to get our shop's opponent there. Maybe we could have mulliganed to a more aggressive hand, try to get him on turn 1 or something. Didn't really seem like that was the right call. So pretty similar plan to round 1, where we're going to bring in Negation and Hurkyl's, because we need to take out enough cards where the Flusterstorms are all gone. What was the other one? I brought a Needle. Yeah, this makes sense to me. Submit. All right, so we're on the play. Let's try to get a pretty aggressive hand. This is a pretty aggressive hand. I'm going to keep this one. Well, unfortunately, it doesn't do anything. Because we have to find the 2 pieces. Even if we were to vamp... Maybe this deck is supposed to play Tinker. It's not really a Tinker Citadel deck, though. I don't know what you would Tinker for. I guess you could Tinker for Sphinx. Maybe you could play Tinker in the sideboard and have a Sphinx in the sideboard. You don't really want to play Gush against the Tanglewire deck, typically. I think I'm going to look for a... I think I'm going to look for a better hand. This is better, but... Again, it's super slow. This hand really needed a single Moxen so I could play Impulse into Show and Tell. Can I afford to mulligan this one as well? I think so. Oh my god. All right. We're in trouble. So I'm going to do it like this so that I can Merchant Scroll for an Ancestral and force their first play. My opponent mulliganed to 5. Island Merchant. Ancestral. Pass. I'm going to need a lot of help from the top of my deck in this game. Saga. Okay. Is that it? Oh, they have a Soul Ring. That's fine. I'm just going to force it. I'm going to need a lot of help. I'm going to need a lot of help because they have a Saga, so they're going to have a clock here. What do we got from Ancestral? How good are you, Ancestral? Not bad. Not bad. It depends on what they draw. Hopefully they go for Construct and they don't hit me with a Sphere. Wasteland is not bad. Why is chat fighting? Chat, stop fighting. What's happening? Oh, they're going for Urza's Saga. They're going for a Construct. Urza's Saga loses another game. Oh, man. I love Urza's Saga. The card wins me so many games. I guess they could have a Sphere in hand still, theoretically. Watch them drop a Trinisphere right now. No, no Rod, no problem. I'm not gonna play around anything. That could have gone really badly, by the way. But we just had to do it. We had to do it. All right. Do we want to bring in Mindbreak Trap on the draw against Shops? I think I do. All right, come on. I really want this. I want a 4-0 with mono bluish Omni-Tell. Blue-black Omni-Tell. I want a 4-0. Unfortunately, Shops is really strong, so I don't know. We'll see what happens. Oh, this is the most bait hand of all time. Oh, no. no. Not like this. This is the hand that you're like, I have to keep this. But you know Shops is going to ruin you if you keep this. I have to keep it. It's not a hand I'm just not allowed to mulligan this hand. Maybe they'll play turn 1 Null Rod, chat. Maybe they'll play turn 1 Null Rod. Okay, that's fine. Maybe they'll just play Saga Go. We're safe. We're safe another day. There may be a mental misstep in their deck, so I am going to Ancestral before they draw. Oh, they have Strip Mine. Okay. That is the downside of typically you want a Chalice on 0 to stop me from having fast mana. Their game plan is to stop me from, comboing as fast as possible. Well, we have a huge problem here where we're gonna have to discard some cards. I don't know what we're gonna do about this. We currently have too many cards in hand. All right, so I'm gonna play Misty, and then I'm gonna discard Ruby, and maybe I can discard Sanctuary. We challenge checked them, but it didn't work out. I think I'm gonna just discard Sanctuary. Maybe I don't think I want to play Underground Sea. All I want to do is like brainstorm into a fatty, no, a Omniscience, and then DT for Lotus. Oh no, I can't Lotus. Oh, maybe not. Maybe I don't want to do that. I'm gonna probably counter. Yeah, I'm gonna counter that one for sure. Maybe I should brainstorm first. Okay. So I'm just going to put show and tell on top, and then negate with show and tell. And then draw show and tell. And then I guess we demonic for an Omniscience. And then hope we hit the mana we need. This is a little risky. I do have the ability to dig through time if I don't get wastelanded though. Like I can pitch this Cunning Wish because I have a dig through time. Okay, that was not a wasteland, so that was good. Like if we have to dig through time, we're not gonna be able to combo next turn, but if we do hit mana, we do win, so. Well, we already know the top card is Show and Tell. Yeah, you're probably right. We probably should have cast Dig. The problem with Dig over Show and Tell, or sorry, the problem with Dig over Demonic Tutor is my Underground Sea is vulnerable to Wasteland. But my dig through time could have found me land, so there's like a little bit of here and there. I don't think it's like super straightforward. I have to force this sphere. All right, I would like to see a land off the top of my library. I knew there was a show and tell because of the brainstorm. Land? Okay. Well, my opponent can still have a second sphere here. So it's not guaranteed. And I have a dig through time, which can also miss. They can't make a saga. They don't have enough artifacts yet. But if they put an artifact in play off this show and tell, they will. Smokestack. Okay, so I'm going to cast this dig through time without paying its mana cost. And then I hit Cunning Wish Intuition. And that should win me the game. Intuition, and I'm gonna put the two creatures and a Cunning Wish in my Intuition. This way, if they had like a Mind Break trap, I could Cunning Wish in response. I considered it. So I'm gonna put Emrakul and Grizzlebrand and Cunning Wish into an Intuition pile. We've been high rolling tonight for sure. All right, got there. Oh, heck yeah. That was close. That was super close. Boom. 3-0. One more. All right, fourth and final round. Can we go 4-0 in a vintage prelim with a bad legacy deck? We're up against Monkey Monkey. I don't know if Monkey Monkey's playing. They know what I'm playing. If this hand... I think this hand is bad. Even though I have a brainstorm to maybe salvage this hand, I really just dislike it. The whole Ponder, not being able to hold up Flusterstorm, no fast mana, double Omniscience. I think I'm just going to put this hand back and look for something better. I have London Mulligan, right? That does look better, so we're going to do this one. I don't know. Probably not. But uh-oh. That's a bad sign, chat. Is it mono white? Or is it Bazaar? It's Bazaar. Okay. They have a Vengevine. They have a Vengevine attacking. I don't know if it's Aggro Bazaar or Control Bazaar, also known as does it have counter spells or not. We're going to have to go Lotus Brainstorm here. I don't think my Cunning Wish board has anything particularly good against Bazaar at this point. If I had been on the play, I could have... Well, I actually took out Surgical Extraction for Rab Trap, so I wouldn't even be able to Rab Trap. Once Upon a Time lends to Cradlevine, but doesn't mean it's Cradlevine. You can absolutely play Once Upon a Time in Squee. Most people don't anymore, though. Cradlevine or Gak. Fair. Okay, I'm gonna just go Lotus Brainstorm here because I think I need some help. The best part about these Vine decks is I think there's a lot of customization available to you. Oh my god. We've ran out of luck, chat. It's all gone. Yeah, unfortunately we cannot Cunning Wish for Tabernacle. I think the only thing we can realistically Cunning Wish for here is, I mean, I can snuff out Avenge Vine or Dismember Avenge Vine. That does not seem like a good play. The only card I put in my sideboard for drawing is really Gush. So I'm going to take the Gush, and we're going to hope it's going to be good enough. I just need to make sure I fetch before the next upkeep. I should also be not F6ing in case my opponent vigors my Soul Ring. Just like the only thing I can Flusterstorm anyways, so. Yeah, unfortunately that Brainstorm that did not hit. Okay, so they did have, so they are Cradle Vine because we've seen Hex Drinker, and my opponent is going to use their Vigor. This is like our only Vigor target, or our only Fluster target, so definitely going to cash in our Flusterstorm here. And then we're going to go to the next turn, and we can still win this game because, on next turn we could draw, we have 3 draws. We could draw Show and Tell, Omniscience, Cunning Wish. All right, there's Blood Gas. That's good to know. Root Walla, 6. Oh my god. Cradle. Okay. Uh-huh. So they actually have Hardcast Vigor and Beseiju open as well. We did draw Cunning Wish. I think I'm allowed to float black. Black, blue, Gush. That's not going to do it. And there's nothing I can really wish for. Okay. I think this is dead. I don't think there's anything we can hit off this. All right. I mean, a very, very solid 7-card Bazaar start from Aggro Vine. Not much we can do about that. Besides combo ourselves, and our Brainstorm just did not hit. We're going to bring in Needle and Tabernacle. And then I don't actually like Rav Trap all that much against my opponent's deck, so I think it makes sense to just have it in the wish board. I kind of wish it was Surgical, but that's okay. I think we just do Needle Tabernacle. The question will be like, how many Flusterstorms do we want when our opponent has access to Vigor? It was better to float double blue. We don't have cantrips in our deck though. We have Ancestral and we have Ponder. We're more likely to hit something like Impulse, which wouldn't hit that. So I think it's better to have the ability to Demonic. Maybe that could be wrong. It might still be better to do double blue. I think we have the same ability to hit Demonic as we do Ponder Ancestral, so maybe it does nothing. Maybe it doesn't matter. I feel like this is just not an Impulse matchup. I don't really want a ton of Flusterstorms, though, if we just do this. Okay, what do I have? Okay, I mean, this is a good hand. There are some problems with this hand, but whatever. See how many cards they keep. 7 to exile. Oh, another 7-card Bazaar hand. Let's see what they have for us. I have a Wastelandable target and a Vigorable target. So the good news, the bad news is we don't have deterministic omniscience things. I guess we do have mystical impulse. So if we hit like a different spell, we can lead with something, and then mystical impulse for wish for sublime epiphany. So if we can hit like another action spell when we go off, that might be pretty good for us. Strip mine. They didn't choose to strip mine. So they had a strip mine. They didn't choose to strip mine. All right, another turn 1, 9 power, 0 mana. We can't make that play because of Wasteland Beans. And they're more likely to have Wasteland than they are to have Vigor. If we had Basic Island, then yes, but no. So they have Vigor in my upkeep? We can just Mystical for Ancestral. Or we can Impulse. If this was a Vamp, we could just get Tabernacle. I think I'm going to Impulse. Those suck. They have Strip Mine too, so we can't even go for a slow play. We're in deep shit here. Man, Bazaar's brutal. Yeah, I don't know. Other Impulse. Probably just gonna have to Mystical for Ancestral and hope it's good enough. That Impulse did not go well. I almost wish I had gone with my first instinct, which was Mystical for Ancestral that turn. Maybe I was supposed to go for Mystical Ancestral that turn because of knowing they had a Strip Mine. They've had extremely strong 7-card draws of Bazaar, Force of Vigor, and 10 power. Or 9 power this time. But, you know, that's Magic. We had some very good draws in the beginning of this tournament as well. They pitched a hollow one, which means they have Strip Mine Vigor? Bro, not Vigor. What could it be? Could be something, right? Wait. I get Wastelanded. What if I just Demonic for... I'm just going to go for it, right? Demonic Lotus. I can just go Demonic. Crack Fetch, Demonic Lotus, Show and Tell, Omniscience, and Impulse has to hit, and they have to not have Vigor. That's fine. I mean, if they pitched a hollow one, it means they have to have Vigor in their hand, right? But what am I going to do? Oh, they can still have Beseiju off of Cradle. What if they kept Cradle, Beseiju, knowing that Omniscience was my line? Wow, that'd be pretty insane. Yeah, they did. Wow, they're so good. They're so good at Magic. Wow. They kept Cradle Beseju because they knew that Omniscience was my out. Nice play. Very nice play. All right, they deserve it. Brutal. We would have hit Cunning Wish and won the game. We can't demonic. You can't demonic for Tabernacle when I play an Underground Sea to cast demonic, chat. Come on now. Yeah, so we had it. Chat, I drew demonic for turn and played an Underground Sea to cast it. I cannot demonic for for Tabernacle. All right, but it's fine. It's fine. It's over. It's over. Well played by my opponent. Our draws were not as good as their draws, and we were not able to clutch up the 4-0. But I will definitely take a I will definitely take a 3-1 with my deck here. Thanks to Nathan for bouncing ideas off, for helping me bounce ideas. Yeah, so basically what I did, and this is what I do for a lot of decks on stream, is I went and looked at a bunch of legacy lists, and I did my typical port to vintage things. So when you see an Ancient Tomb list in Legacy, you can mostly replace Ancient Tomb with colored mana lands and off-color mana Moxen. And then you need to see, like, where does your deck really gain advantages from being a vintage deck, and the place is in the off-color Moxen here. So by playing our full Moxen suite with Mana Crypt and Soul Ring, it allows us to play things like Impulse and a value Cunning Wish package where we can play cards on their turn, hold open Flusterstorm, and then go for a combo on our turn. Obviously, the deck is, can be lower power level than things that are happening in vintage, things like Bazaar, sometimes things like Shops. But obviously the whole an Omniscience in play is very strong. The question is it going to be able to punch through what the opponent is putting in front of you? And tonight it did. We had some nice solid wins. We did draw pretty well. But it's kind of cool that the deck operates on a power level that it fits in vintage. I don't know that I would recommend this deck going forward as like a thing that you'll see everywhere from vintage players. But I think it's a fun little experiment, and maybe people will go and try it and find some ways to optimize it and make it even better. So yeah, it was pretty fun. It was a nice short stream tonight. A 4-round prelim that did not take more than an hour and a half. But yeah, these new vintage prelims on Monday nights at 8 p.m. Eastern. I will always stream them. There are vintage prelims on Wednesday nights at 9 p.m. Eastern, Fridays at 2 p.m. Eastern. I will stream Wednesday nights at 7 p.m. Eastern after work, and vintage challenges at 1 p.m. Eastern on Saturdays. If you're looking for vintage content, check out the YouTube channel. New vintage videos Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Please, if you're not already subscribed to the YouTube channel, that's a free thing you can do to help me grow that channel. Same goes for Twitch, where you can follow for free. Thanks for everybody for watching tonight. Much appreciated. Thanks to Doom for the raid. Hope everyone had fun. I will find a nice place to send you, and I'll see you next time.